So now we know a little bit more about strings. Let's look at how we can format those strings using Whitespace characters. So at the moment, if we wanted to print on two different lines, for example, we have used separate print statements. So looking at the one, I've already written this just to make the videos a little bit shorter. And now that you are gaining more of an understanding, you should be able to look at this code and see what's going on. So let me just walk through it though with you. We've got some variables, Bob_tel, so Bob's telephone number, and I've assigned that to a string. Now telephone numbers are stored as strings because they have they start with a zero, an initial zero. And numbers don't, and so you can't store a telephone number as an actual number. You always store it as a string, and that's the reason why actually the preceding zero is actually removed and replaced with the country code like 44 for England when using mobile phones and storing numbers, because a zero, you can't have zero lots of whatever place value that would be. So the zero would always be removed, but it's important that we have that. And in any case, we'd never do any maths on telephone numbers, so why would we store it as a number anyway? So it's always stored as a string in programming and other computing applications. But getting back to it, so I've got Bob's telephone number stored as a string and assigned to a variable called Bob_tel. I've also got Sally_tel and her number assigned to that variable, Charlotte_tel, her number assigned to that, and Tony_tel, and that has got his number assigned as a string stored in that variable. So 4 variables containing 4 telephone number strings. Then I've got 5 print statements. The first print statement here is just a nice little print statement that says telephone tree. So what I want my program to do is just print out the name of the person followed by their telephone number, all on different lines. Let's run that and see what happens. So run that, and here we go. Yep, there we go. So telephone tree, star star star, Bob, Sally, Charlotte, and then Tony. You can see though how Bob, he's got a space and then it's been concatenated. So the word Bob here, the string Bob, has been concatenated using that with the variable contents. I've made sure there's a gap after Bob so that it prints it out nicely, but it's still a little bit difficult to read because Bob and Sally and Charlotte and Tony are all different lengths of name. So what I can do is I can use a character called a Whitespace character to add a little bit of formatting. So after Bob and after the plus, I'm going to concatenate a Whitespace character string by using a /n. No, I'm not. A /t. /n comes later. Then concatenate that with the value that's stored in Bob_tel. Let's have a little look at what that looks like now. So I'm going to run this. We can see that Bob has now got a very large space after it. Bob, then his telephone number there. Sally's only got 1 space, Charlotte and Tony as per there. This Whitespace character, I'm going to copy it now into the others, is called a tab. And a tab just tabs the cursor along before it prints the next bit. And by adding that to all of these print statements, so I've now got the string Sally concatenated with the Whitespace tab character, concatenated with the variable, and I run this, you'll see that my telephone tree now looks much neater, other than Charlotte's, who's stuck out like a mile and not linked up, which I might then just start calling her Lottie. That should, unless I've done it wrong, have lined up, but something for me to look at. In any case, it makes the formatting with the tabs much neater. They should all be in a line. I think that Charlotte's name is too long for the tab space. Damn it, wish I'd chose a different name now. It'll look better. However, we've done 4 different prints, haven't we, here? We can also use another Whitespace character called new line or carriage return. So new line's easier to remember because it begins with N. And I can get rid of this print, and it means one less function call to print, which is actually makes your program actually more efficient. So now I'm going to put a plus and open up quotes /n, close quotes, and then another plus. So I've concatenated, I've got Bob concatenated with the tab string. I'm going to change Charlotte's name now because her name is just far too long, and we'll call her Lottie like that. Plus Bob plus tab plus the variable plus this other character, Whitespace character called /n, plus Sally plus the tab plus Sally. Okay, let's have a little look at what happens now. We've got Bob, Sally, Lottie, Tony. Same up here, but I didn't print Sally separately. I printed her in line, but by using this /n Whitespace character, I've saved myself a print statement and instead concatenated it and brought it down onto a new line. So let's add another /n. Don't forget your pluses in between, because every new string has to have a joining. You need to tie the 2 strings together using the plus. And let's get rid of this last print as well. So a plus and then a /n, close the quotes, another plus. And if I've done it correctly and remembered all of the, we've got Bob, Sally, Lottie, Tony and all of their numbers nice and neat in a row, telephone tree, and they're all on separate lines despite only having one print. So a Whitespace character, we've got /t, which is a tab, which brings that text out to line up, making it a little bit neater. And we've got the /n, which is a new line, which returns the next thing to print and prints it on a new line. Okay, I'm going to stop this video because the videos are getting too long now. I'll stop this one. Do the activities regarding Whitespace, then watch the next video on escape characters and do the escape character tasks after.